Are you drowning under the weight of everyone else's problems, carrying people who never say thank you, saying yes when your body screams no? One young man with the kindest heart in his village learned the hardest lesson right before the cold river closed over his head. In the next few minutes, you'll discover why saying yes to everyone means saying no to yourself. And the shocking truth, an old stranger whispered that still echoes across that ancient riverbank today. High in the mountains, where mist clings to pine trees and valleys echo with birdsong, there was a village split in two by a wide, rushing river. No bridge connected the banks, only slippery stepping stones that turned deadly when the current rose. Kiran was 19 years old, with shoulders broad as ox yokes and a smile that made grandmothers weep with pride. He was the only one strong enough, brave enough, to carry people safely across on his back. At first it was just old neighbors, too frail to balance, and mothers with sick babies who could unrisk the stones. Kiran never asked for anything in return. The villagers touched his shoulders with blessing hands and called him our Kiran, our gift from God. He had never felt so needed. Word spread like wildfire through the mountain passes. Within weeks, travelers from distant villages began arriving at dawn, waiting in long lines along the riverbank. Merchants with heavy packs, pilgrims on their way to temples, officials too proud to wet their fine clothes, mothers with crying babies, strangers who didn't even say his name, just pointed at their bags and climbed onto his back. Kiran never refused. How could he? His back began to ache deep in the bones. His feet bled where the river stones cut them. He skipped meals because there was no time. His mother grabbed his arm one evening, tears in her eyes. "Beta, you're killing yourself. Rest." Just one day he pulled away gently. "They need me, Ma. How can I say no?" But inside something dark was growing. He began to resent the weight, the demands, the way people never looked him in the eye, only at the river. And then he hated himself for that resentment. What kind of person resents helping others? His shoulders turned purple with bruises. His hands shook even when empty. His eyes sank hollow, circled with shadows. One evening, halfway across with a fat merchant on his back, Kiran's knee buckled. He went under. Cold water filled his mouth. For 3 terrible seconds he thought, "This is how I die." He clawed to the surface, gasping, and somehow made it to shore. The merchant cursed him for getting his clothes wet and walked away. The next morning Kiran was back at the river. The monsoon clouds were gathering. The water was rising. One evening, as the sun bled orange behind the mountains, Kiran staggered back from his 22nd crossing of the day. His clothes clung to his shivering body, his legs buckled, and he collapsed onto the whetstones. That's when he noticed the old man. A ferryman with a long white beard sat cross-legged on a flat rock, calmly carving a piece of driftwood with a small knife. He had been watching. "How many today, boy?" the old man asked, without looking up. Kiran's voice came out as a whisper. 20. The ferryman nodded slowly, brushing wood shavings from his lap. "And how many tomorrow?" Kiran closed his eyes. "However many come." The old man stopped carving. He looked at Kiran with eyes that had seen 1,000 rivers, 1,000 boys just like him. "Then tomorrow you will drown." Kiran's heart stopped. "What?" The ferryman stood, his shadow long in the fading light. "A bridge serves thousands for 100 years. A back can carry one man, one time. You are not a bridge boy. Stop pretending to be." The old ferryman sat down beside Kiran and spoke quietly, like a father to a son who refuses to see the cliff ahead. "Tomorrow, you will carry only 3 people. Your mother, your younger sister, and one stranger, anyone you choose. Let the rest wait, or let them find another way." Kiran's chest tightened. "I can't do that. They'll hate me. They'll call me selfish, cruel. What if someone tries to cross alone and drowns?" The old man's face softened, but his voice stayed firm. "Some will be angry, yes. Some will curse your name. But listen closely. Some will find another path. Some will build a raft. Some will wait for the river to calm. And some, boy, will finally stop leaning on your back and discover their own strength." Kiran stared at the dark water, his throat burning. The next morning felt like walking to his own execution. The first traveler, a middle-aged man with a sharp voice, demanded to be carried. Kiran's hands shook as he shook his head. The man exploded. "You selfish boy. I've walked for 2 days." Kiran's heart shattered, but he held firm. By noon, he had carried only his mother and his sister. The sky darkened with monsoon clouds. A merchant appeared, dangling a bag of gold coins. Name your price. Kiran looked at the gold, then at his bleeding hands, and remembered the ferryman's words. He turned away. That night, the river flooded, and for the first time in months, Kiran stayed home, dry, safe, and breathing. Over the next few weeks, something Kiran never expected began to unfold. 3 young men from the village, watching him set his new boundary, gathered driftwood and rope and built a simple raft. They began ferrying people across for a small fee. Travelers stopped assuming Kiran owed them his back. They planned their crossings in advance, or they waited for calmer water, or they paid the raft builders. A village elder called a meeting and proposed raising funds for a real bridge. Within a month, construction began. Kiran carried only his family now, and once a week, one person in true emergency, a bleeding farmer, a laboring mother. His back began to heal. The bruises faded from purple to yellow to nothing. His smile returned, genuine and warm, not the exhausted grimace he'd been wearing like a mask. His mother wept with relief when she saw him laughing again with his sister by the fire. He fished in the mornings, slept through entire nights, and remembered what it felt like to be a son, a brother, a young man with a future. 3 months later, the bridge stood finished. Sturdy wood and iron, strong enough for carts. Hundreds crossed safely every single day. The old ferryman reappeared one afternoon, leaning on the new railing, watching the flow of life across the river. Kiran approached, eyes wet. "You see now?" the old man asked gently. Kiran nodded, voice thick. "I was never meant to be the bridge. I was meant to step back so we could build one together." The ferryman smiled. "And now everyone crosses safely, because you stopped trying to be everything to everyone. You are not a bridge. You are a human being with a back that breaks, a heart that bruises, a spirit that runs dry. Saying yes to everyone means saying no to yourself, your family, your health, your dreams. And here's the truth nobody tells you. When you finally stop carrying everyone, something miraculous happens. People don't collapse, they rise. They find their own strength, build their own solutions, discover resources they never knew they had. The world doesn't fall apart when you set a boundary. It grows stronger. Carry only what is truly yours to carry. Let the rest wait, walk, or build their own way across. You're not selfish. You're finally wise. If this story reached the part of you that's been drowning in silence, type "I am not a bridge" in the comments below and share one burden you're re-putting down this week. Tag someone who's carrying too much. Hit subscribe so you never miss these ancient lessons that heal modern hearts. Remember, the river will always flow. People will always need crossing. But you can only carry what won't break you. Protect your back. Build bridges together. See you on the other side.